Hi vinyl community, it's Mike here, and today's video is another video where one thing leads to another, where I listen to an album and that album suggests another album that I can listen to, and the second album leads to a third album. So all the albums are sort of linked in some way. And I thought, when I've got half a dozen or so albums that I've been listening to, then I'll make a video and tell you guys about it. But I was a bit stuck for a theme of what to do. And then I watched a video, and it was from a guy called Gordon. And Gordon's not been in the vinyl community very long. His channel's called I Dig Vinyl. And Gordon's up in Scotland. He's quite a young guy, or at least he's quite young by vinyl community standards. And he's decided to do a contest. And the contest is just to show some Scottish albums. So I thought, well, that's my theme. I'll show albums from Scotland. So the link between all the albums I'm going to show is Scotland. So this is actually a contest entry for Gordon I Dig Vinyl. And I'll leave a link to his channel and to the video in the description as usual. So without further ado, what are the albums I've shown? I'm going to show. I mean, there's 6 albums altogether. And the first one is one of my favourite bands, one of my favourite Scottish bands, one of my favourite bands of all time. And this is Mogwai. And this is their album from 2017. And it's called Every Country's Song. And as you can probably see, it's a double album. And the title track is the last track on side D. And Mogwai are described as a post-rock band. So instead of the normal sort of rock sort of structures to their music, it's something a little bit different. They tend to be a bit more experimental, and it's more about sort of the texture of the music, the atmosphere that the music creates. And where there are vocals, and most of the tracks are not don't include a vocal, but where they do include a vocal, the voice tends to be used, as another musical instrument rather than sort of, a traditional sort of singer's voice. So, yeah, they're a great band. I've seen them live quite a few times, and they're always fantastic. And yeah, brilliant post-rock band from Scotland, and it's Mogwai. So that's number 1. Number 2. Now, this lady started off as a member of another Scottish band, and that band was Belle and Sebastian. And I'm not going to show any Belle and Sebastian records today, but I'm going to show a record by her. And this is Isobel Campbell, and this is her album. It's called Amorino, and it's from 2003, I think. I didn't write it down. 2003, I think. Anyway, this is a reissue from 3 or 4 years ago on the Cooking Vinyl label. And Isobel Campbell has released a couple of other albums since. She's released about 4 or 5 albums altogether, but this was her third. This was her third album since leaving Belle and Sebastian, and the previous 2 were under the name of the Gentle Waves. But this is the first one that was in her own name, and as I say, it's called Amorino. She's a great singer, so she's greatly influenced by bossa nova. She likes the French sort of Nouvelle Vague. People like films by people like Godard and Truffaut, and this album sort of reflects that. I think if she'd done a version of Girl from Ipanema and put it on this album, it wouldn't have been out of place. So you've got a number of tracks here. So what have we got? Amorino, the title track, is really wonderful, and then you've got The Breeze Whispered Your Name and Monologue for an Old True Love, and those both sort of very much sort of bossa nova sort of themed songs, and there's a lot of sort of jazz in here as well, and there's a track near the end here, Song for Baby, and that's very much sort of 60s beat sort of style, and there's a bit of yay in there, and Yeah, and the previous two tracks to that, what was it? Yeah, There Is No Greater Gold and This Land Flows with Milk. And both of those tracks could be, soundtracks for, for a film by Truffaut or Goddard. She's a really great singer, and this to me is her best album, her best solo album, and it's Isobel Campbell and Amarino. Right. Next, a bit of Scottish reggae, and this is by a duo. They're DJs, producers, and they call themselves Mungo's Hi-Fi, and they've done a number of albums where they have a guest singer or a guest artist in there, and this one is called More Fire, and as you can see, the singer is Eva Lazarus, and that's her there. And this is a really, really nice album. It's on the Scotch Bonnet label, and you've got a really good, sort of stonking sort of opening track. They do a version of "Dub Be Good to Me," which is absolutely fantastic. And then you've got a song, Babylon Raid, and that features the legendary Max Romeo. And so this is a great bit of reggae from Scotland, and it's Mungo's Hi-Fi. I think they're from Glasgow, and Eva Lazarus. Right, next off, a bit of folk music, and this is a band called Trembling Bells, and this is their album from 2010. It's called Abandoned Love, and you can see the band here. So as I say, they're a folk band. They're formed in, again, I think they're formed in Glasgow. The singer is she's called Lavinia Blackwell, and she's a specialist in singing sort of early music, and she's got an absolutely brilliant voice. And Trembling Bells are not particularly sort of traditional folk band. They draw a lot of their inspiration from the landscape around them, and they're quite experimental, it feels quite improvised, the music that they play. And I think if you like Fairport Convention, you like them. If you like another great Scottish folk band, and that's the Incredible String Band, you would also like Trembling Bells. And this is a fantastic album. You can see the details there, and that's Abandoned Love. Right, now the poet laureate of Scotland, or at least he should have been, and that's the great sort of Ivor Cutler. Ivor Cutler was born in Govan in Glasgow in 1923. And there he is. And like a lot of people of my sort of vintage, we first came across Ivor Cutler because he used to do quite a few sessions for John Peel on Radio 1. And this album, in many ways, sort of comes from those sessions. It's called Life in a Scotch Sitting Room, Volume 2. And it was recorded live in Scotland back in 1978, and it's basically sort of recollections of Ivor growing up in a large family in Scotland, in the 20s and 30s, and it's absolutely hilarious. So Ivor is he's a poet, he's a singer, and he plays a harmonium, and he features on Robert Wyatt's Rock Bottom. He's on a couple of tracks on Rock Bottom, and he plays the harmonium, and he does a bit of singing. So this is absolutely brilliant stuff. It is so funny, and my favourite track on here, each of them are just called episode and then a number. So They don't have titles as such, apart from the jungle tips that are on here. The jungle tips are sort of how to escape from lions and tigers, etc. If you're caught in the jungle, and they're really strange. But there's one little piece in here where the father sort of comes home and he's got an orange with him, and it's the first orange that the children had ever seen. And father peels the orange, and everybody gets every child gets their own sort of segment of the orange, and this is Ivor saying how much he savoured his segment of the juicy orange, and it's absolutely hilarious. But I love Ivor Cutler, and this is Life in the Scotch City Room Volume 2. Right, one more. The Scottish Bob Dylan, as he was going to be, and this is Donovan, and this is his album from 1969, Baraba Jagal. Well, how would you pronounce that? Baraba Jagal. I can never pronounce that right. But anyway, this is an album that wasn't actually released in the UK. There was some sort of contractual wranglings going on, and the album's released in Europe. It was released in the USA, but it wasn't given a release in the UK. And Jeff Beck, the Jeff Beck Group, features on here in a couple of tracks. So there's the title track with the Jeff Beck Group, and there's another one as well. Yes, a track called Trudy. On side 2 also features the Jeff Beck Group, and the great Danny Thompson plays bass on this album, and it's what you expect from Donovan, a bit sort of whimsical, folky, a little bit psychedelic, and you get the got the insert here. This is Donovan's Isle, and basically this is an invitation to join his fan club, but really, it was meant to be a sort of two-way thing. So you're invited to, send your poetry to Donovan, and as a member of the fan club, of the member of Donovan's Isle, he would send you something back. So there you go. That's it. So that's 6 Scottish albums that I've been listening to, and they're really good. And go over and have a look at Gordon's channel if you haven't done so already, and subscribe to him, and have a go at the contest yourself. So that's me done. So I'll see you next time. Bye.